All right, back on the Young Turks. Now we're going to talk about Teddy Kennedy and his possible legislative effect now that he's passed away. And in order to help us do that, we're going to bring on Michael Snook. He is with the Progressive Change Campaign Committee, otherwise colloquially known as the P-Trip. So, Michael, welcome to the Young Turks.
Hi, Jen. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. So what does the P-Trip have going on in regards to Ted Kennedy?
Well, as you know, Senator Kennedy spent his entire life working on health care reform, and we're trying to honor his legacy and his memory by helping to pass meaningful reform. And the way we're trying to do that is we've set up a petition at honorkennedy.com to ask people to sign on to call the bills that Senator Kennedy worked on, the Kennedy bill for health care reform. And we've got two bills in the Senate right now, the Health Committee bill that has a strong public option, and the Finance Committee bill that basically was written by insurance companies, and it'll make a huge difference if we can build momentum around the Kennedy bill and make sure that's the one that gets passed out of the Senate.
Now, Kennedy was in the Health Committee. Do we know how much he had to do with the bill that was produced out of the Health Committee?
Well, it's never entirely clear which lines are written by which person. But we do know that this is the bill that he worked on, the bill that he supported, and it's also the bill that I think everyone can agree is most in line with the goals that he worked towards of getting affordable health care for everyone. And
Ted Kennedy had been strong all throughout in favor of the public option, right?
That's right.
Okay. Now, Chris Dodd said something, unfortunately funny when he said, maybe this will spur some Republicans to, rethink health care reform. Michael, you don't suspect that'll happen, do you?
Well, it's not looking terribly likely that the Republicans are ever going to try and play ball. But I would certainly hope that in this sort of time of somber reflection that people can look back to the values that we as Americans all share and the values that Ted Kennedy fought for.
Michael, it's Ben Mankiewicz. Let me ask you a quick question here, because on Sunday before Ted Kennedy died, there was, I thought, particularly revealing comments from John McCain, who said that healthcare legislation would be in a very, very candid and, I thought, wonderful comments from John McCain. Healthcare legislation would be in a very different place today if Kennedy were healthy enough to participate in the negotiations. Called him as close to being as indispensable as any individual I've ever known in the Senate. Unique way of sitting down with the parties at the table, making the right concessions, which really are the essence of successful negotiations. So it's huge that he's absent, not only because of my personal affection for him, because I think the health care reform might be in a very different place today. Can it be in that different place now that there obviously is no chance that he'll be participating?
Well, I think it's certainly going to take a lot of work from all of us. It's going to take a lot of activism, and it's going to take a lot to even try to accomplish that. But I think we can still do it. Obviously, there's no replacing the line of the Senate. There's no way that we can fill that gap. But what we can do is we can keep pushing for the sorts of values that he fought for.
Well, let me ask you this about specifically about what McCain said. First of all, is it true that he had a way of moving people that others didn't?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've heard it reported anecdotally all over the place in the last couple of days. But also, a study was done recently where a survey was done where people asked the senators, the members of the Senate, to rate who was their favorite person to work with. And Senator Kennedy was by far the favorite person for Republicans to work with, even though he's one of the most liberal members of the Senate. So I think there's definitely something to the fact that he had a way of standing up for his values and fighting for what he believed in, but also compromising and managing to bring people onto his side.
All right, well, let's presume that there, as you say, that there's no exactly replacing him. Who do you guys look to work with most in the Senate on this?
Well, at the moment, it's all about making sure that we get a strong bill out of the Health Committee, and hopefully that we can work on the bill in the Finance Committee. What we've been doing mostly from the Progressive Change Campaign Committee is we've been running ads. You can look at them at healthcarecan'twait.com. Our most recent ad we ran in Nebraska, bringing light to all the contributions that Senator Ben Nelson has taken. That ad was wildly popular, and just got a great response to it. And I think there's a lot of energy right now around hoping to take the people who are maybe the most conservative end of the Democratic Party and helping to bring them back into the fold of the 76% of Americans who support a public option. So I think that's the angle right there.
We're talking to Michael Snook. He's a campaigner with the Progressive Change Campaign Committee. Michael, I want to see how far you guys are might be willing to take it. Would you go as far as saying if Barack Obama does not and the Senate does not have the public option in the health care bill that they would be betraying Ted Kennedy's memory?
Well, I don't know exactly if I'd use the word betray, but it certainly, I mean, any effort to water down this bill. I mean, frankly, Senator Kennedy's been pushing for a whole lot more than the kinds of reforms that are in any of the bills right now. This is already a compromise. But the more we compromise what we have from here, the more we're compromising his legacy. I do think I would go that strong.
And let me come at it from the other side. I guarantee you what the conservative talk show hosts are going to tell you. This is what they did with Paul Wellstone's funeral. They're going to say that you guys are politicizing it and that you're trying to take advantage of Ted Kennedy's death. How would you answer those charges that I think are inevitably going to come?
Yeah, I mean, it's clear that they're going to come, and basically there's a way to honor his legacy by fighting for the things that he believed in that I don't think is politicizing his death. I think it's carrying on his work. I just don't think there's any weight to the claim that fighting for the things he believed in is in some way a slight against his memory.
I think just merely saying, what do you think he would want us to do, I think ends the argument.
Yeah.
All right. Michael Snook from the P-Trip, as the kids say on the streets. Michael, thanks for joining us on the Young Turks. We appreciate it.
Yep.